David Banda could have spent his life in the dusty fields of Malawi, earning pennies and fighting for survival. But destiny had a different story to write. A miracle swept him away from poverty to luxury, transforming him into the son of the pop queen herself, Madonna. From one of Africa's poorest corners to global fame, how did this happen? What's he like today? Welcome back to Never-Ending Celebrities. David Banda's story begins on September 24, 2005, in Lipunga, a small village tucked away in western Malawi. Life in Lipunga wasn't easy. It's one of the poorest parts of one of the poorest countries in the world. David's parents, Johan and Marita Banda, were struggling to make ends meet, but tragedy struck early. His mother, Marita, passed away due to AIDS when David was just a baby, leaving Johanni to care for him alone. Johanni did his best, but the odds were stacked against him. Unable to provide for his son, he made a heartbreaking decision. He took David to a nursing home, hoping they could offer the care he couldn't. But the journey didn't end there. Soon after, David was moved to an orphanage called Home of Hope, located in Malawi's Michinji district. Little did anyone know, this tiny orphanage would become the backdrop for a life-changing encounter. Then came Madonna, the pop queen. On one of her tours to Malawi, she decided to visit the Home of Hope. By then, David wasn't in good shape. This little boy was battling pneumonia and malaria, two serious illnesses that could have easily taken his life. But something about him caught Madonna's eye. Of all the faces, something about David spoke to her. Was it fate? Who knows? What we do know is that she felt an instant connection with him. Madonna didn't just walk away. She and her then husband, filmmaker Guy Ritchie, made a bold prediction. They wanted to adopt David. And this wasn't a simple process. They worked closely with local officials and even met David's father, Johan. Johan, a grieving father, sitting across from one of the world's most famous women, discussing the future of his child. But in the end, Johan agreed, trusting that this was the best path for his son. And just like that, David Banda's life took a turn no one could have expected. From an orphanage in Michinji to a new chapter with the Queen of Pop. Now, Malawi is a country bursting with youth, literally. Over half its population of 15 million is under the age of 18. Millions of children full of potential, energy, and dreams. But all of them grew up in the shadow of extreme poverty. And it's not just poverty that's holding them back. It's like they're fighting a whole storm of challenges every single day. Poverty in Malawi isn't just about having no money. It's tied to bigger issues like food insecurity. Families are struggling to put even one meal on the table, let alone think about school fees or clothes for their kids. Cyclones and floods have been wreaking havoc, destroying homes, farms, and livelihoods. And what happens next? Well, the kids are often the first to feel the pressure. When a family is pushed to the edge, education becomes a luxury they can't afford. Instead of going to school, these kids drop out to work. The education system itself sometimes feels like it's working against them. Schools in Malawi are overcrowded, with shortages of classrooms and basic learning materials. Teachers are overwhelmed, and kids are left behind. And when education feels out of reach, child labor starts to feel like the only option. What's even tougher is that some parents feel they have no choice but to send their kids to work. No parent wants their child to miss out on an education, but when it comes to survival, what would you do? And let's not forget the kids themselves. Many of them understand the weight of their family's struggles and feel like they have to step up. Things were always like this. But when in 2006, Madonna visited the Home of Hope, she laid her eyes on a starving baby, a little boy with a big smile who instantly stole her heart, David Banda. She and Guy Ritchie decide to adopt him. But when they bring David home, it is like opening Pandora's box. Right after that, headlines started screaming, "Madonna kidnapped a baby." Madonna shared how devastating it was. "I was thinking, wait a minute, I'm trying to save somebody's life." She said it was one of the lowest points in her life, and she cried herself to sleep night after night. And then The Guardian steps in, calling David the most famous baby in the world. Now here's where things get even more complicated. Malawian law at the time said only legal residents could adopt children. Madonna and Guy, not residents. Human rights groups jumped in, accusing them of pulling strings and even threatening legal action. The adoption became a massive controversy. But then, David's biological father, Johan Banda, was totally on board. he told reporters that he agreed to the adoption because he believed Madonna could give his son a better life. We had agreed that when the child was taken, she would bring him back every 3 to 4 years so we could see how he's developing, he said. Johan didn't fight the adoption at all, saying, "This is what I wanted, that Madonna should keep the child." Still, it took 2 long years of legal battles before the Malawi High Court approved the adoption in May 2008. And guess what? Madonna wasn't even there for the final ruling. Her legal team handled it while she stayed out of the spotlight. Just when you think this story might end on a happy note, things take another turn. A few months after the adoption was finalized, Madonna and Guy Ritchie announced their divorce. Rumor has it that adopting David was one of the things they fought over. Some said Guy didn't want to adopt David. He felt they should focus on their marriage because they were already having problems. But Madonna insisted, and what Madonna wants, Madonna gets. After the divorce, David stayed with Madonna, and their bond only grew stronger. She was always by his side, cheering him on and sharing glimpses of their life. From tours to social media posts, it was clear that David had a special place in her heart. But David didn't lose his connection with Guy. In 2016, he was spotted in London with Guy, his brother Rocco, and the Ritchie family. Somehow, despite all the drama, David managed to maintain ties with both sides. Today, David is 19 years old, rocking a model-like stature and a sense of style so bold it's got the internet buzzing. Just recently, he stepped out in this jaw-dropping Adidas x Gucci outfit that looked like it was straight out of a fashion runway. David isn't just Madonna's son, he's a multi-talented force of nature. Seriously, this kid does everything. He dances, he sings, he plays football, and he's got a flair for fashion that could rival the biggest names in the industry. One minute, David's belting out tunes in the kitchen, and the next, he's showcasing moves that could land him on Broadway. David even performed in a school production called She Kills Monsters at the Los Angeles County High School for the Arts. Madonna was right there in the audience, proudly cheering him on as he rocked his cheerleading outfit and horns for his role. But David's talents don't stop at performing arts. He's a footballer who started kicking around a ball as a kid and never looked back. In 2017, he joined the Benfica Academy in Portugal, a junior football academy, to prove his skills. A year later, his team won a league, and David snagged an award for being the best performer in the under-12 category. And in 2021, Madonna and her daughters were spotted cheering him from the sidelines as he scored during a university football game. David's never been afraid to push boundaries. Once he described wearing a white silk dress as so freeing. He's bold, he's unapologetic, and he's totally owning it. In fact, in a 2019 Vogue interview, Madonna gushed about him, saying, "What David has more than anything is focus and determination. I'm pretty sure he got it from me." She even joked that David understands her better than any of her other kids. What's really inspiring is how David is carving out his own path. Sure, having Madonna as your mom is a big deal, but he's not riding on her coattails. He's building a life of his own, making people cheer for him, not just because of who his mom is, but because of who he is. From an orphanage in Malawi to the Beverly Hills spotlight, David Banda's journey is nothing short of extraordinary. Whether he's scoring goals, rocking the stage, or setting fashion trends, he's proof that with confidence and focus, you can truly do it all. And that's David Banda for you. A young man blazing his trail while honoring his roots and embracing his many talents. What's next for him? Will he conquer music, sports, fashion, or maybe all three? But what do you think? Share your thoughts in the comment section below, and make sure to subscribe to the channel for more. Thanks for watching.